Chris and Hayley have a 10-year-old son who, like many children his age, enjoys video games and football. Until recently, they had no idea their son had downloaded video sharing app TikTok onto his phone, until one day, messages started popping up on his screen.
And I've come home from work then, obviously turned on the phone and looked at the messages, and then they were like, "Do not ignore me. I know who you are," but swearing, "I know who you are and I'll come and get you." So obviously like threatening a 10-year-old with them sort of messages.
Chris didn't know where the messages were coming from, but when he looked at the profile of the TikTok user who'd sent them, he saw the photo of an adult man. This worried Chris, so he opened the app and looked through his son's inbox, where he found 4 messages sent by 4 different men.
He goes on YouTube,
He likes making videos.
Yeah, he
doesn't
likes
and
making
things,
videos,
football videos
so
and things.
that's probably the reason why he went on there, to do something similar to that. But then when you've got people like this getting in touch with your children, he's 10 years old, so he's very, very vulnerable.
Chris and Hayley quickly deleted the app from their son's phone and alerted the school for what had happened. They are glad that nothing more serious came of it, but the whole episode has taken its toll on their son.
We were sort of trying to give him a bit more freedom and sort of walking to school with his friends and walking home from school with his friends, and he won't do that now. He wants to be picked up all the time.
Jingle bell.
TikTok is a social media app that focuses on video. The company says it's used by more than 500 million people, and their biggest market? Teenagers. Kids use it to post videos of themselves lip-syncing and dancing to their favorite songs. Most are just easygoing, harmless bits of fun. But as Chris and Hayley's story shows, there's a darker side to the app. Adults use it not only to contact children, but also to post sexual comments on their videos. We found hundreds of them on TikTok, offering children money for sex, telling kids to show parts of their body on screen, asking girls to perform sexual acts, people saying they're aroused by the video. So what exactly is the company doing to protect children? I came up with a test. Using the same tools available to any TikTok user out there, I reported 100 sexually explicit comments. These were clearly against TikTok's own rules, but most were not taken down until I contacted TikTok and identified myself as a journalist. I repeated the test 2 months later, and this time around, TikTok did manage to take down most of the sexually explicit comments we reported, but only 4 of the people who'd posted them had their accounts suspended. Which means, of course, that adults who send children sexually explicit messages are being allowed to stay on the platform.
They haven't got really a slap on the wrist. It's just like, oh yeah, we're just going to remove that comment. They should be taken off it and reported. It's their app. They've got a responsibility now. If people are getting on there and saying messages like this, they should be contacting the police at the very least.
Chris is not alone in his anger. In fact, other parents that I've been speaking to have shared with me similar feelings about TikTok. So I took their concerns and the results of our investigation to the Children's Commissioner for England. As a mum herself, would she ever allow her child to go on TikTok?
I think any parent that would see these comments on these quite innocent kind of postings would want to say to their kids, you know, this isn't the place for you. I would want them to get them off there. And if they're under 13, they absolutely shouldn't be on here.
Anne Longfield says TikTok has to take action as a result of our investigation, both in removing dangerous content and also clamping down on the users posting it.
In the physical world, we would come down like a ton of bricks onto anyone who made the environment that we place ourselves in and children unsafe. And I think it's exactly the same online.
Anne Longfield says she'll write to TikTok and ask for a meeting with them. She wants to make sure TikTok takes their responsibilities towards children seriously. Abuse, harassment, and sexual comments don't make up for most of the posts on TikTok. In fact, for some teenagers, the app has almost become a way of life. Emily and Lauren are both 15. They're best friends, they live in Northamptonshire, and together they run a joint TikTok channel under the name Em and Lols. Every week they post videos of themselves dancing, singing, sometimes acting. They have more than 1 million followers on TikTok and counting.
It is it's really odd because obviously when we're in public, sometimes people recognise us and we're very shocked about it because it all happened quite quickly.
Yeah, because we started off not many fans at all on the app, and then when we got that video that went quite viral on it, it sort of started us off and we were really surprised, we couldn't believe it, and then from there our videos started to get more and more popular, and then again, crazy.
They tell me their fans are in general a good bunch. They don't usually post harassing comments on their videos, and when they do, they know exactly what to do about them.
I mean, if we get a negative comment, we can easily just delete it, or we can block them, report them. There also is an option to turn off your comment sections.
Emily's dad also keeps a close eye on what the girls do on TikTok.
Whatever she does comes onto my phone as well, and I can watch what they're up to, and obviously and see different comments they get. And if I feel like I need to step in and I think something out of order is going on, then I will. But to be honest, every time I've gone on there, they've been fine.
But they get hundreds of comments, and so it didn't take me long to find a sexually explicit one posted on one of their videos. When I reported it to TikTok, it was still there 24 hours later. And the person who posted it, their account was still active.
Yeah, it is a bit worrying when they do catch people saying bad things or sexual things. Should have the sort of power to block them more, and actually take them away straight away.
Parents say it's TikTok's responsibility to protect their children from predators and from all those people sending them sexual messages. And in Westminster, politicians are listening.
Well, we're very interested in this investigation, and we've been discussing content regulation with a number of different social media companies, and we'll certainly take a good look at what's been happening at TikTok.
We invited TikTok for an interview here on the program, but they declined our invitation, and instead they sent us a statement where they say that promoting a safe and positive app environment remains their top priority. They say they use automatic filters and human moderators who manually review tens of thousands of videos and accounts, remove inappropriate content and terminate accounts. They say the issues raised by our investigation are actually issues that affect the social media industry as a whole.
They can use that technology to target advertising, but they don't seem to be able to use that technology to identify offensive behaviour or potential harm. And I think many people will question that, and I think that the problem is there's a commercial incentive in doing one but not in the other.
Meanwhile, I ask Chris and Hayley whether, given the right assurances, they would ever allow their 10-year-old son back onto TikTok.
No, not a chance. Where I look at it is we're very lucky in a way that it wasn't, because when you hear some reports like from friends or even people online and stuff about what the child's being sent, it's disgusting, and for my son to be threatened, we've got away quite lightly, to be fair, because obviously if he started engaging in conversation with them, then what could have been next?